What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 3, Episode 11 of Hit the Books, podcast all about sports betting and the bets you should be taking each and every week and everything surrounding sports. We're here for Week 10 of the NFL season, 14 games this week, NHL, NBA, college basketball, college football as well. Can't get much better than this. Lots to talk about across all the various leagues as we approach just about the halfway mark here of the NFL season. So let's jump into this week's episode and introduce my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Huff, we're going to start off with you here this week. I know I was not here this week, or last week, rather. I don't think Ace was either. What do you got for us here, Week 10?
Yeah, obviously, like you said, week 10 in the NFL, a lot going on. Great time in the sports world. We saw college basketball get started on Monday. Me and Mackie got a nice 2-0 start on the card there with a nice underdog money line on the card tonight with Arizona State. So hoping to start the season hot 3-0. But like we said, give yourself some breathing room starting 2-0. Had a nice weekend myself in the NFL. Thank you to Najee Harris. I said that on Sunday because of the Thursday night football. But needed that finally back above the positive threshold in the NFL. So looking to build on that. Didn't have too great of an NFL Sunday, but Najee Harris, all I needed was those 8.5 units on Thursday. So, but other than that, I'll hand things back off over to you. Excited for a great weekend of sports. Lots of good college football, college basketball Saturday. I can't wait for the first one of those, and then a great NFL slate on Sunday.
Good stuff, buddy. Nice to have you here for yet another week. Ace, let's send it over to you next. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, like you said, 1 week off. Happy to be back, taking care of business, working overtime. But another positive week like Huff had, not as good. Obviously that plus 8.5, pretty crazy. I haven't seen our exact stats for the last week, but
I know.
I was
I was just checking the Canva cards. Actually, I never finished the results from Monday, so I'll get that posted tonight.
yeah, good looks. I appreciate it. I want to see how I finished on the week total. I believe I was still positive, maybe 1 or 2 units. Um, but got over that plus 10 unit mark back down, and I think I'm sitting at like plus just under 10 at like 9.7, something like that. So gonna be looking to build on that this week. Got full NBA, NHL action as well. So hyped to get going and ready to roll.
That's what Mackie did last year. Mackie, you remember that? You were teetering that 10 point line, that 10 unit line. You just could never get over it.
Yeah, no, I think I
Yeah,
got
he
up to
took
like 15
end
at one
week at
point,
it.
and then it just like dropped back down because I was getting cocky and shit. But this year I'm fucking awful. Another terrible week from me.
I think the highest I've gotten so far plus 12. I want to say like just under plus 12, but now I'm sitting just below plus 10. So in a good spot. Want to keep building for sure.
Hey, she got to get to 28 units.
Yeah, run it back.
Cancel them out.
Yeah. Hey, that's year one. It's a rain check year. It's thrown right
That's
into
a
the fire.
rain check.
I mean, I actually know what's going on here. I just showed up off the scene. You guys were a year in. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh shit, we're tracking everything. Get murdered. Um, so locked in, found the formula. Got to keep making it. Mike's secret stuff freaking right
Oh, boy. Here we are. All right, Mackie, finish it off here. Nice to see you. What do you got for us, buddy, in Week 10?
Yeah, like I said earlier, terrible week again. It's 2 out of 3 really bad weeks. I had a good week in the middle, but I'm just not really seeing the board very well right now. And I think I went 1-6 this week, which was terrible. But you got to keep firing, got to bounce back, just got to do a little more research. But other than that, the Cowboys, tough loss. I think they're the better team in that Cowboys Eagles matchup. Dak played better than Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. Just bounces didn't go our way, balls didn't go our way. Just happens, but we'll get them back week 14 in Dallas. Yeah, but nice slate last week. Good slate coming up this week. Excited to talk about it. Wait, before we get going, what do you guys think about that Cowboys Eagles game? I want to
Oh,
hear
I
your
was just,
thoughts.
you know what's funny is I almost cut right in right after that. I was just say, I know we're going to get into this a bit later, but talking about that game, I mean, I think the Cowboys are one of the best teams in the NFL. I've been saying that. I had them in the top five like a couple weeks ago, but you know what they don't have? And you like to talk about it with Justin Herbert is the clutch gene or a winning culture. And Jalen Hurts and the Eagles do. Like Jalen Hurts wins games. Devontae Smith wins games. Dak Prescott doesn't win games.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. The only reason Dak's a little above Justin Herbert is because he's got those playoff wins under his belt. He's got a few meaningful wins under his belt. But yeah, he does lose a lot in those situations. But I wouldn't necessarily say that was on him. I think he played a really good game. I think he did just about everything right, except for I wouldn't say stepping out of bounds is really on him. Now he did everything he could on that 2 point conversion, but taking that sack on the 7 yard line, I think we were on. Um, First and goal. I don't even know, first and goal, second goal, whatever it was. It completely lost the game for us. But I thought for 50 minutes out of those 60 minutes, Cowboys were the better team. We in Philadelphia too, so that was pretty big. Defense stepped up, played pretty well. I
But
don't
the
know.
thing is with that defense, like you're saying, they stepped up and played well. But if you want to make any noise in the playoffs, especially against divisional rival Philadelphia Eagles, one of the few teams in the league who can line up with them guy for guy down the roster, you can't be giving up 28 points. I know it's on the road. I know all this, all that, but you can't give up that many points and expect to win the game.
I don't know. I disagree. I think we can definitely in a game like that, definitely 28 point. I mean, so you think the Eagles defense stepped up only giving up 23? I just think at the end of the day it was kind of play calling. Like we were in the red zone. We were within the 10-yard line 3 times in the final 12 minutes and scored 6 points. It's just not like you're
So
not
the
going to win a
Eagles
football game
defense
that way.
did step up.
Put the points up on the board when you get the chance, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree with
Mackie,
that.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even watch too much of that game. I was watching what was the boring ass game I was watching because I had Bryce Young versus
Patriots?
the fucking Colts. No,
You watched
I
the
was watching.
Panthers versus the Colts.
Yeah,
instead of the
I had
Dolphins and
Bryce.
Eagles.
I had
That was like
Bryce Young over
that was like
the
the best
1.5 touchdowns.
That was like the best Cowboys Eagles game in like years. That was
Yeah,
so
dude, when you
good.
got money on something, you'll watch anything. It's crazy.
And plus, Huff,
Not
everybody
when
thought the
Bryce
Panthers
Young's
are gonna-
playing like that.
gonna dub, so it's like
Bryce Young was fucking awful that game. If I were you, I would have just turned the fucking
Mackie,
TV
did
off.
that first half Jets Chargers, did that go over? Did that hit?
over.
No, it didn't. It hit 20, and I had 20 and a half, but I had 20 off card, so it
Oh, I was
pushed
thinking
for
the
me.
Sunday night game. That's Sunday night game.
Yeah, Sunday night when it went
Yeah,
over.
I'm just
but
fixing up these results real quick.
Yeah, pop it off in the
Dude.
first half.
That was terrible. I also didn't get Bengals out, which I had on the card, but I never actually put it on my Canva.
You're a bot.
Yeah, big time. I was out there that fucking terrible week.
Is it because you were not nervous, but is it because you didn't really want to put another play in? Or you
No,
just forgot?
I was busy Sunday. I didn't really even get to watch a lot of football. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
golfed and I had to miss the Patriots loss on the radio while we were golfing.
no, I definitely wanted to play that Bengals play. That was one of my more confident plays. But I didn't even realize until Tuesday that it wasn't on my card.
Yeah, Huff and Dave Portnoy, big Bengals guys now.
Mackie's in on that with me.
Oh yeah, I've been in.
Go, Prez, go. Say it.
Joe Burrow.
We bought in before he did. I just literally sent that thing
He
to
brought
Mackie.
in,
I was
he
like,
brought in pretty
I go-
well, though. He brought
I
in
go,
pretty well.
Portnoy saw the pod and he had to buy in on the Bengals with us.
67K, dude. And then did you see? I think he put like 15 or 5K on Bengals over Eagles, like exact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that.
So he's got like about 75.
That's way
plus
too
dollars.
common of a Super Bowl pick, though. That's the only thing that scares me is everyone that thinks the Bengals get there, they're like, oh, they're gonna play the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
Which is it's not a long shot though, because look at the rest of the NFC. Yeah, the Niners and Cowboys are great and have great rosters, but they just can't seem to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And everybody else is just a crapshoot. And we have some bold takes I know we're about to get into, and I'm gonna have one of those guys in the crapshoot getting in the playoffs.
Alrighty, boys, here, week 10 of the NFL season. I know I'm ready. I'm here for it. I've got a little starting segment here to get us rolling. 3 bold predictions, quick bold predictions for the second half of the NFL regular season. Ace, why don't you get us rolling here on this one?
All right, I can definitely get us rolling. Love this one. Second half of the season, crazy that we're already there. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings to win the NFC North. Huff was telling me it's not that bold. I think it is a bold prediction with a new QB under center. Joshua Dobbs gets his name in the mix as a positive player, and they end up winning the NFC North. Number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. A lot of people down on them right now after some tough games. Taking home the AFC East. I know that a lot of people are high on these Dolphins, but that Bills roster, if they can get clicking again, it's one of the most dynamic teams in the league. And at number 1, I have the Baltimore Ravens leading the league in record by the end of the season, sitting at 7-2 right now. I think they have the best record and the number 1 seed in the AFC come playoff time. Those are my 3 takes. Eager to hear what you guys got.
All right, so I'll jump in here real quick. My in no order. My first one is I think all 4 AFC North teams make the playoffs in the AFC. Right now, they're all currently in a playoff position with obviously the Ravens sitting at 7-2, and then the rest of the division at 5-3. I have my second one is going to be the Bengals to win the AFC. I did take that with Mackie last week. You heard that. I'm big back in on these Bengals. I think Joe Burrow is officially back bought in. And my other one is going to be what did I end up going with? I can't remember. I'm just going to come up with one here on the spot. It's going to be, I'll go with Mackie's Dallas Cowboys to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I like
Wow,
it.
playoffs inclusive.
Huff sees a lot in that team. I like it. I see a lot in that team.
Cowboys,
as well.
Bengals. It will be the Super Bowl this
The
year.
Super Bowl that nobody wins?
Well, the Bengals will take it, I think.
Somebody has to win, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess someone
That's a
has to
game.
win
That's
it.
a game Dak can win. But I can get into mine. Okay, number one, I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. If you look into the Eagles' schedule coming up in the Cowboys'
like that.
schedule, look completely different. Cowboys have a big advantage here, so I think that we can
I
overcome.
like that
this.
too. I was looking at that the other day.
Yeah, I think we can overcome this deficit and win this division. Number two, I'm also going to go with the Bengals to win the AFC North. I think Joe Burrow is playing incredible football. I think we're going to have to see a bit of a decline from Lamar Jackson for this to happen, but maybe it could happen. And number three, I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara to get his name in with Offensive Player of the Year. I think he's gonna lead this Saints team to that division lead and at least into a playoff spot. And he's gonna have a pretty good second half of the season.
Yeah, his target share is through the roof. Mackie, I was saying I like that Cowboys pick because if you guys recall, Week 0 episode, I was the only one tooting their horn to take home that NFC East title. So hopefully they can come back with it. I have some money on that future.
Yeah, sitting in the spot right now. I mean, we have 4 easy games coming up. They have to play the Chiefs, Bills, Dolphins, and then the Cowboys again. And we get to play in Dallas. So I think for that game, we're going to be playing for a division lead in that game, and I think we can come out on top. So
Definitely, I like all those takes, boys. Hopefully, my Ravens pick can outweigh your Bengals one, though. But time will tell. I'm gonna go with the stronger defense because, as we know, defense wins championships. But
No, they can get the best record. I think I'm fine with the Bengals sneaking as a wild card team and going to the Super Bowl.
yeah, I was
Well,
keeping
I
my
need them
pick.
for the
Pops, I was
AFC
keeping my
North.
bold predictions as regular season entities, but for the playoffs, it's a whole different beast. I'd have to reevaluate everything there. Probably go with the
Yeah.
Kingdom.
Great stuff there, boys. Let's keep it moving here into the NFL with our power rankings coming into week 10. Running through that list at number 5, we have the Jags. At number 4, the Bengals. 3, the Ravens. 2, the Chiefs. And coming in at number 1 again this week is the Philadelphia Eagles. What are you guys thinking about this one coming into week 10, our power rankings for the NFL?
Yeah, Bengals come flying in at number 4. We haven't seen them yet in our power rankings after that tough 0-2 start. But they're definitely there. They're definitely a top 4 team in the league right now, for sure. I think they're 5-3, but playing really good football.
So, Mackie, like you said, Bengals come flying in, rightfully slow. Joe Burrow, fully healthy. We see him extending the pocket, running for plays. That Bengals team is on the rise. Ravens still sitting up there ahead of them, playing great football. I think Mackey's going to stop fading them a little bit. Chiefs and Eagles can't really move them from the top 2. I mean, what are you going to do? But that 5 spot is so crazy to me. You could put a lot of teams there. You could put the Cowboys, the Jaguars, the Bills, the Niners, the Dolphins, the Lions. I mean, it's pretty crazy once you get up past that top upper echelon of the NFL. There's a lot of teams in the mix, which makes an exciting year. So as we dive into these games, Mackie, let me know what you got.
What's crazy is the Cowboys lost this week, and I gained more respect for them. I think they moved up in my power rankings because of how well of a performance they put up against probably the best team in the NFL right now. So, they didn't really have that game where they proved themselves yet this year, and I think they really proved themselves in a losing effort as well. So I think there's a lot more to come from that team. What was I going to say?
Who is your guys' most likely pick to bump into that top 5? Is it the Niners? Is it the Cowboys? Is it the Bills? Those are the 3 best rosters outside of it. But do you see one of them or somebody else jumping into that 5th spot in our power rank?
I think the Niners are the best team outside of the top 5, but with the schedules coming up, I think the Cowboys have the best chance of getting back in. I think they're going to dominate these next few weeks, and then rolling into that game against the Eagles. They have 4 pretty easy games before that game. They get to play that game at home. They're going to have a lot of momentum. I think that this schedule works out perfect for them. I think that they'll be back in our top 5 really soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do think the Niners have a tough schedule coming up in Jacksonville this week, obviously, and then home against Tampa Bay, in Seattle, in Philly, and then home against Seattle. So a tough next 5 weeks for San Francisco. I think if they pull off a couple wins there, we're going to have to start respecting them again, get them back in this top 5.
Yeah, one thing I would like to say, though, is I don't know what week it is. I was just looking for it. But when those Bills and Dolphins match up again, I'm going to say it again. Whoever wins that game will find their way to my top 5, I'm thinking. I don't think
the Bills. I don't think they have enough to be in my top 5.
I think there's too many people sleeping on the Bills right now. Like last year, I was so low on them. I was so low on them, but they're not. They're
I
not.
feel like you hate on the Bills more than anyone I know.
No, he was higher than them going into last.
Got to be biased. I hated them last year. I didn't have them last year at all, and I don't know. I don't think they're as good as the top 3. Like I don't think they're Super Bowl winners, but I think they're being undervalued right now. They're too good. Josh Allen's too good to be outside of the top 7.
I really don't think so. I think that he's not good enough to carry a team like that. His name doesn't carry enough weight like Pat Mahomes carries the Chiefs to number 2. Like I honestly don't think the Chiefs are number 2. Might not even be in top 5 without
Oh,
his name.
obviously.
But yeah, but I'm saying like if you just had a different quarterback there and they're still 6-2,
Oh.
they're probably the 5th number 5 team out or something. But Josh Allen's name doesn't carry enough. I also don't think the Bills are playing very good football. They had one good
I
win
don't
really
either.
against the Dolphins, and the Dolphins don't really have any good wins. So how credible is that win really? Put up 18 points last week against the Bengals. You expected more. You said you expected more. You took the over and you took the Bills because you thought the Bills were going to go off. Only put up 18 points. So I mean, I just thought that you'd be a little more hesitant about.
Yeah,
saying
I'm
this
not
Bills
saying they're
team is good.
playing good football. That's a good point by you. I think they are playing probably the worst I've seen them play in the Josh Allen tenure. But I do think their ceiling is much higher than a lot of these other teams in the division. I think if they can get some health on the defensive side of the ball and the skill that they have on offense, I think their potential is through the roof. But they have to start playing that way. And honestly, they just have to get in.
Yeah, you're right. Josh Allen just needs to get into the playoffs, then he can do his thing. But they do got to get in. It's a loaded AFC.
Yeah, for sure. We all knew that was coming, though.
The good thing about the AFC is that all those AFC North teams still have to play each other, so
Yeah.
they got to lose. They're all sitting in a playoff spot right now, but somebody's got to lose.
We've already played we have the Bengals twice in the next 4 weeks, so that's going to be our tough test with the AFC North. I'm worried about those 2 matchups, but obviously already beat the Bengals, or already beat the Browns, already beat the Ravens, so we have our 2 away games with those. So AFC North, I always say it, everyone splits, takes their home games. So if we can get out of the division 3-3, I'm happy.
I think the Browns end up falling out by the end of the season. I just think the injuries are going to end up catching up to them. Defense isn't going to be able to hold much longer.
And
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson's not
Watson
even
isn't that
healthy.
good.
He's also not even healthy. You're going quarterback to quarterback, week in, week out. You don't have a steady rhythm. At the end of the day, in this tough division, that team's definitely going to be the one to fall out.
I could see the Steelers because of their offensive woes falling out too when it comes down to it. But I think the Steelers are exactly where we thought they were going to be, and maybe a little bit ahead of pace right now. But in terms of power ranking, skill, they're exactly where I thought they would be. I still think they can pop off a bit more on offense. I think their defense is going to carry the load most of the way. It's going to keep them as a bubble team all year long. So it's all going to come down to that last game of the regular season, probably.
The Steelers are literally playing worse than I thought they would, and they have a better record than I thought they would. Like
You had a lot more faith in that offense.
They've underimpressed, but they're just winning football.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll tell you one thing. I was never high on Najee Harris. I always thought the passing. I thought Kenny Pickett was a little bit better, but I'm going to give him the excuse I gave Mac Jones, which isn't panning out well, but our team's awful. So it's like, I think it's a sophomore slump for Kenny Pickett. I don't think he's as bad as he's playing. But I think their passing game is going to keep growing and growing. We saw Deontay Johnson finally get in, so expect them to keep going off with that healthy receiving core.
Dude, Pickett has the arm. He was making some throws last game in the prime time. I was like, he can have it. He just needs the confidence. He needs maybe you're
He
right.
doesn't have to have it with that.
Maybe
defense.
it is the offensive coordinator because he's not really giving him the opportunity to gain his confidence. Because when he's not confident, he's pretty damn bad. But he's sitting in there. He made a throw on 3rd down. I think it was like 3rd and 11 or something, right in the I think it was Deontay Johnson's pocket. I was like, holy shit! Like he can make these throws if they give him the opportunity. They're just really not giving it to him.
It is still for how much I watch him, he doesn't know when to throw it away, know when to go down and not risk the extra. Like, he'll try to jump between 2 offensive linemen. We don't have a good offensive line to begin with. And he just doesn't know when to just throw the ball away. He doesn't know when the line's blown up. I mean, we're playing elite defenses in the AFC North. Like, in that Ravens game, he played pretty good. In that Browns game, he played pretty good. But in other games against, like, the 49ers, takes sack after sack. It's like, it reminds me of when I was watching Ben. And Ben had that same problem. He did not want to throw it away. He thought he was going to break a tackle and then find a guy wide open. And that's what I don't know if that's what Pickett thinks, but that's my only thing with him is he needs to start throwing the ball away more because when we do decide to pass on 1st down, that if he gets sacked, it turns a 2nd and 10 into a 2nd and 18. And then, I mean, our offense is one of the most predictable offenses in the world, but we're just going to try to run it and get 8 yards and make it a 3rd and long.
Once it's 2nd and 18, the drive is over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we'll probably get into that more with these week by week games. A lot to look forward to in the second half of the season.
Lots of good stuff coming into this week. Like Ace said, coming into the second half of the season. Got a couple trends to get us going here in week 10. I'm just being a dummy and taking that over, but NFL unders are now 83, 52, and 1, hitting at 61.5%, the best through 9 weeks since 1991. Monday Night Football unders are 10 and 1 in 2023 and 55, 28 and 1 since 2019. This season, night game unders 22 and 7, 62 and 29 over the last 2 years. And second half unders, Huff, the opposite of yours, is 82, 53 and 1. I'm finding that very interesting.
Monday Night Football unders are 10 and 1. That is insane. Just imagine taking that. And we know that. We know primetime unders hit, and we still don't.
And we still take the over. Oh boy. All right. That's all I got here to get us rolling into week 10. Let's start off with this Thursday night football game here. The Carolina Panthers heading to Chicago to visit the Bears. The Bears, the favorite here, 3 points for them. Their money line minus 176, total 38.5. Panthers money line at plus 148. Trends I got for this one are, where they go? Bears 1-15 straight up in their last 16 conference games. Bears 1-11 straight up in their last 12 games in November. Panthers 2-14 straight up, 4-12 against the spread in their last 16 games on the road. I couldn't find any good trends about either of these teams to support this spread, to support this total. Curious to hear what you guys think here. Thursday night football in week 10. Ace, get us rolling.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only person that's gonna be watching this is Huff if he takes a Bryce Young prop again. What a brutal game on this Sunday, or on this Thursday night, I believe it's right. Thursday night game.
Yes.
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah. Brutal game, but what else do you expect on Amazon Prime? But it might turn out to be a better one. I could see points on both sides with some weaker defenses in this one. Hoping we get Justin Fields back and we can see two of the younger guys maybe get back to doing some of the things they used to do in college. So I don't really think I'll definitely have a play on it. I don't know what it is at this point. Could be a Chuba Hubbard touchdown. That's just something I've been looking at. But yeah, I don't have an official one. Adam Thielen's been great for me all year, though. I've taken him on the card a few times, receptions and touchdowns. But I do think there's some scoring in this one. Eager to hear what you guys think, what side you're leaning on.
Yeah, I've been like you said, I've been watching this Carolina team the past couple of weeks. Not necessarily something I'm too proud of. I've bet him in the past 2 weeks, so I think Bryce Young is getting better. Last week he had 2 pick sixes against the same guy, Kenny Moore on the Colts. Just was all over him all
That's
game.
brutal.
Got the 2 pick sixes that he ran both back to the house with his whole family in the house. So like every time that dude picked it off, they showed all of his sisters jumping around up there. So I mean, big day, good day for him. But Bryce Young, I had the over 1.5. He threw 2 picks in the red zone. Not a good look, but I'm going to go back to the Panthers here. Panthers plus the points. I'll take the 3.5. I like them with the points. They could win the game. If anything, I might just end up taking them to win or do the double down and take the spread and the money line because I like them in this game. I'm not sold on Tyson Bagent. I know I said I was a couple of weeks ago. I thought he could step in and be a pretty good quarterback, but
No, it's not Fields.
yeah, I'm erring on the side of this being Bagent with the Thursday night game.
It's Justin Fields is doubtful. They said it's like
Okay.
not a good chance he's playing.
Yeah.
I was looking at it last night and I saw questionable.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers here. Give me the Panthers with the
Point
points.
start.
These teams have a combined 3 wins. I don't really think you can go right either way. But I mean, the Bears being 3.5 point favorites, I don't think they should ever be 3.5 point favorite. That team is not nearly good enough to be favorite in any game. It's a pretty shitty game. I'm probably just going to take the under. I don't think either quarterback gets anything going. Panthers have a pretty good defense. They've been pretty well. Last game they played well against the Colts. If you take away those 2 pick sixes, only get up 14 points. I didn't really watch the rest of the game, but that's just off the top of my head. And I don't think Bryce Young can really get anything going. I don't care if he's playing the Bears defense or Alabama defense. I don't really think he's gonna get much going. I like the under 38. I think it's two shitty teams in the prime time.
Just such a low number though.
Yeah,
Every time I see
two
two
shit
shitty
teams,
teams and I
prime
just
time
take it
football.
under it, I swear to God, it goes over every single time.
This
Dude,
game's
I was
in,
just
like-
gonna say this is prime teaser opportunity. You take the Panthers plus 10.5, and you take over 31.5. That's not a bad play.
I do under
Or under
46.
45.
Yeah, whatever it is.
But dude, that's I think I said it. That was my first take initially off the game. I think these defenses have names, like you said. They have Edmonds. I think the Bears just brought someone at the deadline. Then you have the Panthers. They have Brian Burns and some other guys. But I think this is finally a time where they have some positive thoughts going into this game. They're like not worried about getting blown out. I think they've all got some time under their belt. Both quarterbacks really young. I think the running backs are healthy now on both sides. You have Sanders and Hubbard. I think what's his name is playing for the
Dante Foreman.
No, I think Khalil Herbert's back as well. And Foreman's look good. So if you can get the Thunder and Lightning on both sides, I think it might help out a bit. I like that's a good teaser opportunity in my opinion. 10.5 for the Panthers, over 31.5 or 45.5 if you want to go under. I do think it's somewhere around 40 points. 42 points. But yeah, that might be something I look into. Excited to see Adam Thielen as the best player on the field on Thursday Night Football, though. That guy's great. Fantasy diamond in the rough.
Bad week last week, though. He's got to bounce back.
Will for sure, I think, in the prime time, don't you?
Yeah.
That Bears defense, dude. Remember when people were high on them coming into the year? Like they were high on Fields, so that was nuts. I liked him. I didn't think he was as high as people had him as like top 5 potential. I'm like, whoa. He's like better than Mac
MVP.
Jones, but not that good. Yeah, I think that they do put up some points this week, though. I would have liked to have seen Fields play, but I think it'll be a better game than we expect, but off rip. Yeesh.
Let's move on from this shit game.
Thursday Night Football here in Week 10. Panthers and Bears. Something to look forward to here before we get into the rest of the week here. This next matchup, Colts and Patriots, 9:30 a.m. Eastern in Germany. The Colts the favorite here, 1.5 points for them, minus 122 on the money line. Patriots money line at plus 104, and the total at 43.5. The only trend I have here is that Indy's 8-1 to the team total over this season, best in the NFL. Their team total sitting at 22.5. They're the only NFL team to score 20 points in every game this season. Scored 20 plus points in 10 straight games. Second longest streak, Jags and Browns with 5 games. So they just crushed that streak. So 22.5 is pretty tempting in my eyes. But curious to hear what you guys think coming into this game here in Germany. Ace, your Patriots down by just 1.5 points. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if I hit on him last week, the only way I could is on the card with that Ramondre Stevenson plus 150 touchdown. Great value, 64-yard run. But coming into this matchup, those trends you just read me are not good for the Patriots. Over 20 points in every game. Patriots struggle to put up 10 sometimes. So this will be a tough one. I like the under here a lot, 44.5. I think this is a great spot for it. Early game over in Germany. 2 teams that like to run the ball. So I think that the Patriots defense is able to keep it tough for Minshew and then that good run game. Not going to take the Patriots on the money line. Maybe we'll off card just because I'll be watching, but it'll probably be a prop if I take one. Probably not on the card this week, but I think this is going to be a low scoring, close matchup throughout. Mackie, let me hear what you got.
Yeah, I definitely like the low scoring aspect of it too. I'm really looking at a Patriots team total under. I don't really think they can get much going. What we've seen all season, this is a really good defense. I faded the Colts week in and week out, honestly, and it just really hasn't been working out. This team's a lot better than I anticipated. Gardner Minshew has been playing some pretty good football, putting up some points. I think he has a slower game this week, but he's not really going to have to do that much against this 2-7 Patriots team. I really like the Colts minus 1.5 as well. I think that they figure it out. They're not going to drop this game. I don't think they're going to get to 5-5. Patriots not really playing for much. They don't have much life. Mac Jones is kind of playing for a starting role in this league right now, so I guess he'll be playing pretty well, or he'll be trying to play pretty well. But I mean, even like last week, like just some terrible throws, terrible misplays.
Yeah, he has no line, no playmakers around him though. It's so brutal to watch.
The excuses.
Yeah, that's what's tough. It's like if you're good, you'll win in any situation. That's why it's like, oh, I don't think he's that bad, but you don't have any ground to stand on.
He has more signs of greatness than any shitty QB ever, but
Yeah,
he is a shitty QB.
I think he deserves a spot in this league, but not with this current roster. Wouldn't be mad if we brought him back. We'd have to revamp the roster completely.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Colts and the Patriots team total under. At least one will be on my card.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this game. I don't know what the fans of NFL Germany did to deserve Colts Patriots as one of their Germany games, but I'm sure they're pissed about that after seeing Chiefs Dolphins last week. I like 2 plays in this one. I do like the Colts in this one. Probably won't card it. I will card the under. I'll take the under 43, 44 and a half, whatever I'm seeing. I know you could probably shop it around, but I will be taking the under in this game.
That you think Huff, you getting up early to card that one?
Yeah, I might card first half and full game under. I don't think there's gonna be much
No,
excitement in
I
this game
like
at
that
all.
play. I'm not gonna card anything from this one. If I do, it might be that Ramondre touchdown plus 150 last week, but nothing too crazy from me. I do
First
like
half
that.
under 21 and a half, full
That's
game under
crazy,
43 and a
Huff.
half. I'll take both.
21.5. That's nice. You get that extra point.
Yeah, I'll take both. I like that.
All right, another shitty game. Let's move on.
Mackie just calling it how it is. Another
0 for 2 on these games this week. What's
Today's
going on with the
today's
schedule this
NFL,
week?
dude. Oh God.
keeping it moving here, moving into our 1 o'clock slate. The San Francisco 49ers heading to Jacksonville all the way across the country to visit the Jags. 49ers are the favorite here, -3 for them, -162 on the money line, and the total at 45.5. No trends for me here. Mackie, why don't you get us rolling here on this first 1 o'clock matchup?
Yeah, I really like this game. This is definitely a good game, by the way. 1 for 3 now, 1-2. But I'm gonna go with the Jags here plus the 3. I like the value here on the Jags at home. They're playing really good football. I think they've won 5 straight, if I'm not wrong. 49ers obviously trending in the opposite direction. They've lost 3 straight after starting 5-0. I want to see Brock Purdy play with a little adversity going forward. He hasn't never had to in his career. He's lost 3 straight now. There's a lot riding on his shoulders. He's been the golden child since he came since he started on the Niners. I want to see him overcome this adversity. He hasn't really done it yet, and until he does, I'm not gonna bet on the Niners. I like the value on the Jags at home, minus the 3 points.
Plus the 3 points.
No
Right?
Jags. Oh yeah, plus
Jag-
yes. My bad.
Yeah, I'm on the same side. I like the Jaguars with the points. I think this is a good team right now at home. I think they're catching their buzz right at the right time, and the Niners obviously trending downward at the same time. The money's still on the Niners. People have faith in the Niners coming off a bye week and get things right. I definitely think you'll see your McCaffrey touchdown on the first drive. It seems like that's all Kyle Shanahan cares about each week. Is like, let's just get McCaffrey in the end zone, and then we can try to win this game. But I'm gonna go Jaguars with the points. I like it. I'll take the +3. I might buy the hook to 3.5.
You know what's crazy is you don't see this often. 2 teams both coming off the bye week coming into this matchup. So I don't think I'm gonna have a play on it for that reason. I think this is gonna be a very highly efficient contest. 2 teams that are gonna get healthier going into the match too. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game throughout. Even though it's 2 great defenses, I think both teams will find ways to put points on the board. I think Deebo Samuel's back for that Niners offense. So the more I'm thinking about, the more I'm leaning on the Niners. But I'm high on this Jaguars team too. Tough spot. 2 teams with big aspirations for the season. Definitely going to be something on my TV. Gonna have to bet it somehow. Maybe I'll get a good line on McCaffrey touchdown against a good Jaguars defense. He's got to keep that streak going. But yeah, 2 teams coming off the bye. Should be some great football here. Expect a lot of points.
Alrighty, let's keep it moving through this 1 o'clock slate here. The next game are the New Orleans Saints heading to Minnesota to visit the Vikings. The Saints, the favorite here, just 2.5 points. Their money line -146. Vikings +124 on the money line. The total at an even 41. No trends for me out of this one. Huff, why don't you get us started here in Minnesota?
Yeah, this is a good matchup for this Saints team, and this is why I'm on the Saints here. I think all the hype's around Josh Dobbs and these Minnesota Vikings right now. Back-to-back home games. He steps in last week, gets the big win for him in a concussion situation when Jaron Hall goes down. No Cam Akers this week. I did see Justin Jefferson's practicing. I don't think he's going to be playing in this game. That might be a little bit too quick of a return. I'm on the Saints minus the 2.5 points. I think what Mackie said earlier about Alvin Kamara, I think he has a massive game. I think you could see a Chris Olave touchdown, but I'm on the Saints minus the 2.5 points. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you.
Yeah, Huff. 2 teams we were both high on coming into the season, the Saints and the Vikings. I'm actually pretty surprised to hear you say the Saints in this one. I think it could be a low-scoring bout like all Saints games have been this year. But I do think the Vikings come out and win this one. Josh Dobbs showed me what he had on short week, no practice reps. How about that scene of him on the sidelines practicing a snap cadence just moments before going out and leading a game-winning few drives, right? I mean, I like what they're doing. If they can get Jettis back, even better. But I predicted a few weeks ago, all these Lions fans hated me on our social media. But I think this Vikings team can win the division. I'm going to roll with Josh Dobbs here. This might be on my card. not going to be an easy one. I think it's going to be a sweaty, close punch to punch bout, but we've seen Dobbs can do it, and I like him. He might be getting another touchdown himself. Might have to look at that line as he likes to run them in too, but I'm going with the Vikings in this one. Mackie, who you siding with?
Yeah, I'm with you, Huff. I'm going on the Saints in this one. I like this Vikings team. I think Josh Dobbs is a perfect fit for them. I think they played awesome last week. What they did was really cool, and they ended up driving down the field and winning that football game. But I think Josh Dobbs takes a step back here. I think everyone's really high on them right now, and the fact that Vegas made New Orleans a 2.5 point favorite in Minnesota, I think says a lot. I think that, like Huff said, and like I said earlier, Alvin Kamara has a monster game. Derek Carr just does enough to get by, and the Saints defense plays really well. Josh Dobbs is still trying to learn this offense, just because he got a win last week against a pretty measly Atlanta Falcons team. Doesn't mean that he's back to that he knows this entire offense and everything's on point. He still doesn't know this offense. He's still trying to learn this offense. And on top of that, Minnesota doesn't really play good football at home. They're 1-3 at home, opposed to 4-1 on the road. So it's like it's definitely not a fluke that it's that way. They just predominantly don't play good football at home. I think the Saints come out on top in this game. Saints really need this one. This division's getting tight. They need to win these games early on.
I agree. I think it's a much better defense than the Falcons too.
Falcons, statistics wise, have like a top 6 defense in the league, but I mean, like,
Their
when you're
coach
actually
just like
when
subtracts like them like 6 places because of the plays that they call.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like the way that they actually play the game, they're not a top 10 defense, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Like no one's scared of the Falcons just because of the dumbass that's running the plays.
Literally.
Alrighty, boys. Here another 1 o'clock matchup to get into: the Tennessee Titans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucks, the favorite here, just 1.5 points. Lots of small spreads as we get into this early week. -116 on the money line, -102 for the Titans. Total at 38.5. No trends from me coming out of this 1 o'clock matchup. But you guys particularly excited about this one? What do you guys think?
No, I don't really like this game very much. This Bucks team, I have to fall off for them. They're on a 4-game losing streak after starting 3-1. We found a little hope in them. They're definitely still better than I thought they would be this year. Baker's playing some pretty good football, but they're not winning football games. The defense is giving up a lot of points. I think this Tennessee team is trending in the right direction with Will Levis. Tough loss last week, but it's hard to go into Pittsburgh and win a football game on Thursday Night Football. So I think Will Levis has a pretty good game. I think this Titans defense is a good game. And I think that they're probably going to win this football game, but I don't know if I'm going to have a play on this one.
See, I actually kind of like the Bucks here. I think the Bucks get a nice home game against an opponent that's not necessarily who they've seen in the past couple of weeks. I like them in this spot at home. A 1 o'clock matchup against a Titans team, a young quarterback. I think the Buccaneers defense has a great game. I think Baker Mayfield does just enough. Rashad White had a great game last week. They're starting to get the running game going in Tampa Bay. Put up 37 last week in a loss. A crazy, end of the game loss to CJ Stroud. That was one of the best games I've watched, or the best drives I've watched by a young quarterback. He is honestly really fun to watch. I like this Texans team a lot. I think this Bucks team is really good. Is not really good though. I think they're good for their division. I think they're a pesky team. That's why I like them to win this game. I'll take the Bucks with the. I'm seeing on the best line. I can get -1, so I'm going to take the Bucks. I'll get the Bucks with the spread here.
I think Baker has a tough game against that defense. So that defense plays pretty well, and they've been playing pretty well these last few games. Baker's going to throw an interception, I think, at least.
That's a Mike Vrabel led defense if I've ever seen one. Not great talent, but he can coach those players up. A player's coach, similar to Mike Tomlin up there in Pittsburgh. But yeah, talking about this Titans team, I'm super high on Will Levis, dude. He's looked great. He's got the huge arm. I love that. Excited to see him really retain that starting role for the rest of the season and build on a successful career, especially with D Hop out there. It's fun to watch. Meanwhile, the Bucks, I gotta agree with you, Mackie. I gotta jump off the high horse a bit. Maybe they're exactly where we pegged them at, or I pegged them at the beginning of the season. They're just better than over 6.5 wins or 5.5 wins, whatever it was, but they're not much better than that. I know it's at home, so this helps them a bit, but I think that we just saw CJ Stroud, another fellow rookie of Will Levis, tear up a Bucks defense, tear up my Bucks play last week in seconds, putting up 40 points, and this team's not that great. I think Levis can have some success through the air as well. Then you have Derrick Henry on the ground against a stout run defense. I don't think that the Bucks can put up enough points to keep pace, but Baker Mayfield, when he's dumpster fire for a bit, that's when he usually comes out of it and has a great game. So I don't know if I'll be carding this, but I do think Will Levis continues his success in the NFL. had a nice play for me on last Thursday Night Football on that over on yards. That was crazy. They got the ball back at the last second. Steelers still got the win. That's how we all swept. That was craziness.
Yeah, that was a good that was a good Thursday Night Football.
Mac, you remember you texted me, no shot. He's getting the ball back. I turned off the TV. Well, no, I left the bar with my buddy. I was like, yep, they're not going to get it back. I get home, I see they're driving at the 50. I'm like, oh, he did it. What a guy. Way to be. So I think he has a much better game against even though the Bucks defense is no slouch, I think he can have more success than he did last week at Heinz.
Good stuff there, boys, here coming out of Tampa Bay. Another matchup here up in Baltimore. The Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. 6 points here for the Ravens. Minus 270 on the money line, total 38.5. Ace, what are you thinking about this matchup here? Big Hossman talking the talk, or what's he saying?
Yeah, I mean, shout out Big Hoss. Just had a kid yesterday, so I think I got to ride with the Ravens again here this week.
So you're an uncle.
Yeah, I'm a godfather, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Congratulations.
congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, very exciting. She just came home today, and they had Ravens jerseys on. They each had one. There's 3 Ravens jerseys, mom, dad, daughter.
A born loser. What?
I don't know. Born right into a great spot. She is just in time for the Ravens playoff push. Yeah, against the Cleveland Browns. I love them in this matchup this week. I mean, -6, pretty tall order, but we've seen what they've been doing at M&T Bank Stadium. They've been demolishing teams. Defense been lights out. What, the last 2 games there, they've given up a combined 6 points, 3 apiece, putting up over 30 themselves. Lamar doesn't even have to do any work for them to win. This team's firing on all cylinders. I don't know why I haven't been carding Gus Edwards touchdowns. He scored like 7 in the last 2 weeks, and it's automatic when they get on the one. I said it on Sunday, but I didn't take it. Love everything the Ravens got going on both sides of the ball. Browns banged up, like Mackie said, no true run game. I think it's going to be hard for them through the air and on offense to put up points. But, Mackie, let me come in and hear why you think the Browns are going to take this one on the road.
No, I definitely don't think the Browns are going to take this one on the road. Like I said last week, I said I'm going to keep fading these Ravens, but if they go in and they blow out this team, I'm going to have to lay back on that and actually respect them. And I do respect them a lot more now. This Ravens team is good. Like you said, the score was 30-3 last week, and I look over and Lamar Jackson has 11 fantasy points. So they're just finding ways to move the football and play good football, even without Lamar Jackson. So that says a lot about that Ravens team. That being said, I think he's 18-1 in his career against NFC opponents. So he dominates NFC opponents. This is an AFC divisional matchup. It's a lot different. You're going in 2 really good defenses. I think the score stays low. I think it's way under 38. I think both offenses have a really tough time. I think the Ravens do win this game because I said in the beginning of the season that I think every AFC North opponent, when they play each other, the home team's going to win. I said that in the beginning of the season. I think it's happened too, for the most part. But I think that the Ravens find a way to win this game. I don't know, 6 points in the divisional matchup. How good
6
this division
is a lot for the division. I'll give you that.
I'm not going to lean either side. I think the Ravens win the football game though.
I think that Browns defense is great. Sorry to cut you off real quick. I just think
No, you're
that
good.
the Ravens have seen them so many times. Lamar Jackson so dynamic, offense so banged up for the Browns. I think that they find ways to expose the Browns defense a bit, like the elite teams, only the elite teams in the NFL can do, since it's such a good defense, and tough sledding on the offensive side. I really
Ravens-
do think the Ravens defense is like top 4.
Ravens keep getting these home games too. I mean, they play really good football at home.
Yeah, I'll be the one to do it. I'm on the Browns here. I like the Browns with the points. This line's been dropping. I'm going to get in on the +6 while I can. I think this is a close, tight AFC North battle. I like the under as well. I'll go Browns with the points and under 38.5. I think this is a just true classic AFC North matchup. Give me the points with the under.
I don't think the points is a bad play, Huff. Do you think there's any value in the Browns on the money line?
I don't know. I'm going to take the points. I'm not a huge underdog money line guy. I like the points, but just to make me feel a little more safe. But I mean, I could see this get obliterated like my teaser did last week when I gave the Seahawks 14 points. But I'm going to stick with it. There's a lot of money on the Ravens. I'm going to trust my gut. When this line's dropping like this, I'm going to go with the Browns. I'm getting in on the +6.
Huff, I'm with you, but I've lost too much money betting against the Ravens. I'm not doing it again.
If this was in Cleveland, Mac, you would take them +3 and money line the Browns.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, M&T Bank, I think the Ravens keep rolling. Lamar Jackson cementing himself in the MVP conversation. Quick question. Any of you guys tell that this was a big hoss play to me last week? He calls me up. It's like 12:40, right? Last time you can get bets in. and he goes, "Hey, do you know it's Odell Beckham Jr.'s birthday today? You know he's scoring a touchdown. He hasn't all year.
Yeah,
And he's been
I saw
crying."
you send that. I didn't take it.
And
No.
I was like, "No, I didn't know that." I was like, "Honestly, it's his birthday. The way Lamar Jackson, that whole team is, the way Odell Beckham Jr. is scoring a touchdown." And the funny thing is, it was from Tyler Huntley. It's so
That
that
was
means they were scripting him a TD.
That was a Make-A-Wish touchdown. They were like,
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Get
saying.
the fucking old man the football, make it 37-3 instead of 30-3."
Yeah,
His post-game interview was so hard to watch. They were like, what do you think about the touchdown, Odell? He's like, I just battled so hard. It's like, you didn't win the Super Bowl. You caught a touchdown on your fucking 30th birthday. Go home.
yeah. I just knew that was coming. Great hit by
It was a
him,
good
but-
hit. Great hit. But
Yeah.
I think he's such an asshole. I can't stand him as a person.
Yeah, no, and I think it's the other weapons outside of him. He was brought in, probably one of the highest paid guys on that offense. Guys like Gus Edwards, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, we already know like him, but Keaton Mitchell, what about him running for over 150 yards last week? I mean, that team's got a lot of playmakers on both sides, and then I really think the Roquan Smith move, maybe the best linebacker in the league after this year. Really just putting himself in that conversation as best player, one of the best players in the league. This will be a good game too, though. I think I do think it will. I don't think it will be as much of a blowout, but we'll see.
Going to see what happens here coming into that 1 o'clock matchup here. Into this next one, the Houston Texans heading north to Cincinnati. The Bengals are favored here, 6.5 points for them, minus 320 on the money line. 47 is the even total. No trends from me coming out of this 1 o'clock matchup. Mackie, why don't you get us rolling here in Cincinnati?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep ripping Bengals spread until Joe Burrow proves me wrong. They're rolling right now. I think they're probably the best team in the league right now. I'd take them over anyone right now. At home, Houston Texans defense is going to give up a lot of points to Joe Burrow. CJ Stroud might struggle a little against this AFC North defense. Yeah, give me the Bengals -7 on their home turf.
Yep, I said that a couple weeks ago. I'll take the Bengals till this streak dies. I've been on them for about the past 5 weeks now. Give me the Bengals again. I'll take them.
How can you not take the Bengals? I mean, they're playing just great football. This is what we're expecting from Joe Burrow. That's why, honestly, I don't know about you guys. I know Joe Burrow really wanted to play at the beginning of the season. Why the hell was he in the lineup? I mean, they were just risking further injury. If he banged that up again, they would have been out of it for the whole year. Look at how dynamic he is when he's running. What were you gonna say?
They're lucky he got out of it without a further injury. I mean, he's playing incredible football now because he's healthy, but he clearly wasn't healthy those first 3 weeks. But he just loves the back-to-back years. He digs himself an 0-2 hole, 1-3 hole, and he finds his way back to the top of that AFC North like he always does. But
I truly think if he doesn't start the season, though, I don't think they win that Rams game. I think they start out 0-4.
I will tell you what, though. I think that my favorite play in this game, I know you guys like the Bengals. Are you taking them with the points like on the card?
man,
I don't know if it's going to be on the card. There's going to be so much fucking money on the Bengals. I don't know if I'll be able to
I
ride it,
think
actually, but-
The Texans are bowling though. I
I'm
don't think
just
they win
taking
this
them-
game, but I think it's a shootout, and I think over 47.5 is a great play.
don't
I
know.
like that over as well with the two. I kind of like that actually with the Bengals defense. I said last week, Reeder, Trey Hendrickson, they've all been playing really good, but they are letting up points. I know they didn't necessarily last week against Buffalo. That's in the prime time. We know what happens in Sunday Night Football. Those games just tend to go under. I probably am going to go with Cincinnati on the card here. I've done it for the past couple of weeks. I don't know why I'd stop now, so I'll take the Bengals.
That's crazy. I mean, I do think the Bengals win this game. I just think it's closer than 7. I think it's pretty high scoring. Both teams are going to put up more than 3 touchdowns offensively. Last
This
week,
might be one of the rare
Texans
occasions
are a
where-
playoff team. Are they a playoff
Nah,
team? They're
I don't
looking like
think
it.
so. I think they struggle a lot this game. I think their offense really gets shut down this game too. I don't really like that over. I like the under. I think CJ Stroud takes a big step, not a big step back, but I think people kind of put the brakes on the CJ Stroud train.
This is a
this
homecoming
week.
game
What
kind
if-
of for
what-
CJ
but
Stroud
what-
back
what-
to Ohio.
What has shown you that he's regressing? If anything, he's getting
Nothing
better
at all.
Week in,
Nothing
week
at all.
out.
But he's a rookie quarterback and he's going up against an AFC North defense right now, who you don't think's that good. But I think their defense is.
I
pretty
think their
damn
defense
good.
is really light.
And I think it's something that's just they've been beating shitty teams. They've had an easy schedule. This is a very hard, very good football team, and
Do you
I think
think
they're kind of stunned.
Bengals defense is better than the Bucks defense?
Yes, 100%.
I think they are
100%.
actually.
Dude, I don't
It's
know
really
why
close,
you,
if so.
you devalue this Bengals defense heavily.
Yeah,
the
their
start of the
offense is
season, they were-
great though. It's the
I-
defense isn't.
You know who's one of the most underrated defensive
man.
backs in the NFL is the dude on Cincinnati. I don't know his first name. I think it's Cam Taylor Britt. He
Oh,
has an
yeah,
interception.
Taylor
Very
Britt.
good.
Three
Yeah.
pass
Very
breakups
good.
every single Bengals game I watch. That
He's
dude's
in
unbelievable.
he's involved
He's a
in every
rookie.
play.
He's a rookie.
But
He's
no,
unbelievable.
let's not shed too much. I mean, let's not forget about this Texas team, though. I mean, what did Stroud like? 4 receivers over 100 last week. Tank Dell,
Believe me,
Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. He's looked electric.
Ace, did you
Playing
see?
great.
You'll like it. You two will like this. Do you see the stat? He already has more passing touchdowns than Kenny
Kenny
Pickett in
Pickett?
13
Yeah, I
career
saw
less
that one.
played games.
I don't like that.
He
I
tied
mean,
Tom Brady for the best completion
It's 14
percentage
to
or
1. No,
TDI&T
it
ratio,
was
something like that.
TDI&T ratio. It's 14 to 1.
Dude,
But,
he's
I
a
mean-
gunslinger with a head coach that trusts him. That's a scary combo, if you ask me.
And he actually has great playmakers around him.
Mark my words, he slows down a little this week. He's not going to have a crazy week. I don't think he does.
I agree,
well.
Mackie. I'm on the Bengals with the points.
I think he still throws for. I think he still throws for over 250 and 2.
I think he's stunned this week, at least in the first half.
What's their team total
Oh.
sitting at? I feel like that's an interesting thing. If the total's 47.5, it's a 7-point spread. It's probably
17.
20,
24.5,
19 and a half.
17.
Nah,
and
they'll
a
be-
half.
I was gonna say,
Bengals
like,
are at 27, and the
Wow.
Texans are at
20.
19 and a half.
Yeah, because that's the way you do it. If the total's 47, you just do
It's
7
usually
more to the
lower
Bengals.
though. It usually doesn't even add up.
It usually doesn't. It usually misses off by like 2 points either way.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 27-19. Yeah. But no, I like that. I think they put up 3 touchdowns, but this will be a fun one to watch. I do think it'll be a shootout. Mackie on the contrary, but yeah, we'll see.
I like the final score 31.
27.
I'm gonna go with like 24 to 11.
Wow. Wow,
I
you
like
think he
31-20.
doesn't put a
I think it is a high scoring game, but I think the Bengals defense is pretty good.
I think it'll be a fun one to watch. So Mackie, you're thinking this is a stinker on TV, huh?
Not really a stinker. I think we see a lot of drives in the red zone where we're gonna see teams go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 3.
Also, Jamar
Maybe-
Chase is
maybe-
scoring in this game.
Jamar Chase might not
Jack
even play. Same with T. Higgins.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters that much though, to be honest.
If they're both out, do you still take them -7
I
on the card?
guarantee you one of them plays, and if one of them plays, it doesn't matter.
If Jamar Chase is out, do you take them -7 on the card, huh?
Yes.
I probably would. I just trust the quarterback as long as he's playing.
Joe Mixon is playing really good football now too.
He is too.
wasn't-
He is.
He
I think
wasn't
that
before.
I definitely think the Bengals put up points, but I don't see regression. I know you're saying 4th and 2, 4th and 3 turnovers, but CJ Stroud, even though he's terrible on that test before the season, in game he's one of the smartest quarterbacks, most efficient. They've been making good decisions. I think they score points here.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he has shown any regression whatsoever. There's nothing really steering me towards why he would do this. I just think this is a tough game for him. Coming off,
This is a 1 o'clock
coming-
though, right? This is a 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
coming
we're
off
putting,
the
we're
best.
putting way too much thought into a 1 o'clock fucking Texans Bengals game.
No, I think
I
it's
don't know.
a
I
big one
think
though.
this is a
It's
good
big-
game. I think this is a good game. I think coming off the best game a rookie quarterback has ever had, statistically, I guess it was, or the best drive or whatever. I don't even know what they said about it, but everyone's on that train now. I think.
Don't get mistaken. I do think the Bengals win this game. I'm just saying I think there's success on both sides offensively.
I'm just sick of talking about the Bengals. I like them in this game. I'm just sick of talking about them.
I
You
know
love
you've been
the
talking
Bengals.
about them a lot
I like them.
this year.
Believe me, that's all we've been talking about. I feel like we've been talking about this game for 10 minutes. Can we please move on?
Who day, Huff? Who day?
Alrighty, moving into this final 1 o'clock matchup here on Sunday, Week 10. The Green Bay Packers heading to Pittsburgh to visit the Steelers. The Steelers are the favorite here, -3, -178 on the money line. Packers +150 on the money line. Total at 38.5. No trends for me here in this game out of Pittsburgh. Huff, why don't you get this started? A little good news. We are going to the game, official as of this evening. What do you got?
That's always great news. Love to hear that. Gotta get the Steelers -3 in this game. But I think you could I might go to 2.5. I think I hate when the Steelers are an even -3. They look good last week against Tennessee. I know we love to play good in the prime time. I'm gonna go again with this Steelers team at home. 3 straight home games. I think the team's catching a stride here after a big win. Little mini bye week, Thursday night into Sunday. I like the Steelers here with the points. I also like the under. I usually love the under in these Steeler games. It's usually a very profitable play. Might even sprinkle the parlay where you get the Steelers on the money line and the under 38.5 is +240. So that's also an interesting play. Like the Steelers with the points, like the under, like them together. Might see all 3 on my card.
Guarantee I will not card a play from this game. I fucking hate betting on Steelers games this year Because every time I think they're gonna lose, they win, and every time I think they're gonna win, it's a crazy game. And it's like, oh, I do like these pro football pick'ems, and like I think I told you guys about this. You pick every game each week. You rank them starting at the highest confidence of however many games are in that given week. So I guarantee you, I don't even remember which team I picked, but it's at 1 confidence because I do not know who's going to win the game. Steelers at home makes me think that they should, but I can tell you what, I don't know how this is going to play out. There's probably going to be a long touchdown in a low scoring game to screw with some over unders too. But it was nice to see Najee Harris come to life, hit that for Huff. Maybe they'll get a little streak going for him after he's been pretty dry this year. I do
Yeah,
like
I needed to
Deontay
give him a
Johnson a
little
lot, though.
more.
Hit on that prop. I do think him being healthy now and the rest of those weapons bodes well for a Steelers team looking to get into the playoffs.
You might see me double down on Najee Harris first touchdown here again.
I feel
if
like
I'm
you
going
have
the
to
game.
just out of principle.
Yeah, I might have to.
Deontay Johnson
Yeah.
scoring his first touchdown in what, 2.5 years, 3 years?
The only thing that scares me is Pickens fucking annoying ass crying. I
Oh.
feel like they're gonna fucking force feed his dumbass the ball this week.
He's
2
the
for
next
negative
prima
1.
donna.
Raise your hand if you had more receiving yards than George Pickens this week. Yeah, we all
That's
can.
It is
terrible.
crazy. How do you only get him fucking 1 play or 2 plays and he has negative 2
1.
yards?
Yeah, like what? Crazy.
But yeah, I'm on the Steelers as well. I think the Packers don't even score 10 points this week. Jordan Love has a terrible game. Jordan Love interception, I like the under.
13-10.
Steelers -3. Steelers playing good football. They're beating teams that they should. They're not really. They're doing exactly what they should every week. I think so.
Yeah, the Titans on Thursday Night Football is a tougher task than this, so I think they should be able to win.
I think this will be a 20-10 final score.
Kind of trappy. Not gonna lie.
It is a trappy game because it's so low. It's going to be so low scoring.
I feel like it should be like 4.5, 5.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm surprised it was this low, the spread.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, Steelers.
That's because they
playing
don't
pretty
want
good
people
football.
going with that
And
Packers
ca-
money
I don't-
line because there's a chance they could win the game. Because the Steelers, like, you know how you were talking about CJ Stroud due for regression? Steelers got to be due for regression in their win-loss total, no?
Yeah, but I don't
I
really
don't
think
know,
it's a
I agree.
fluke. I think the defense.
3
is
straight
doing
home
what they
games.
need to.
We lost against Jacksonville 2 weeks ago. We win on the short week against Tennessee. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
you
think you
mean-
got to go 2-1 in this home
You
stretch.
lose to
I think it's
you lose to Jacksonville, who's better than you. You beat. I mean, you who'd you guys just beat?
A team that's
Tennessee.
pretty
Probably
close to
better
them.
than them. I think they're better than them just because their defense is so good.
But Tennessee's
Um,
probably right behind them in the power rank.
You beat the Ravens, which was probably you
That's
probably
massive,
shouldn't have beat
yeah.
them, but that's a divisional game. I mean, you guys were home, divisional game.
Teams are divisional.
Should win that game. So I mean, they're winning games they should. They're not really losing game. They're losing games they probably should lose, and this is a game they should win.
All three are you going to have them on the card this week? I'm not touching this game. I
I'm
can't.
gonna.
Oh, if I'm at the game, it's on there. Yeah.
I'll probably play the under. I don't know about the -3.
Yeah, no, I honestly think Packers could win this game. How? I don't know, but they could.
No way. I don't think they win this game.
I'll probably have Steelers -3,
Najee first.
the under, and Najee first touchdown.
He's doing the under as well.
Huff loves taking the under when he goes to the game.
He likes rooting
Yeah,
for the.
root for no points. Sick.
Yeah,
Root for the other team to not score. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's exactly my logic on that.
That's kind of cool. But,
So when the Steelers give up like 2 touchdowns, it's like now you're rooting for the Steelers not to score.
Yeah, let's just kick some field goals. Old Steelers football. We love We love
Packers
field
coming
goals.
off a win, right?
20-3.
Yeah, against our backup quarterback with the
yeah,
Rams.
yeah.
Right. What's his name? Ripien.
Brett Ripien, yeah.
Brett Rypien.
Rapist. Yep.
Ben Rapist.
No, that's the old Steelers quarterback.
Ben,
That's a
yeah.
2-time Super Bowl champion you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Last time Deontay Johnson caught a touchdown was from him. Now it's to Pickett.
How long's he been out of the league?
Yeah.
2 years.
Alrighty, let's get out of this 1 o'clock slate into the 4 o'clock matchups. The Falcons and the Cardinals are here to start us off. Falcons the favorite here, 1.5 points for them, -120 on the money line, +102 for the Cardinals, total at 43.5. Trends I got here: the Falcons 2-12-4 on the first half money line, including 2-16 against the first half spread in their last 18 games. They're 6-20 first half against the spread mark over the last 2 seasons is the worst in the NFL. Upon that, the Cardinals have also announced that Call of Duty quarterback Kyler Murray is expected to start Sunday, versus the Falcons. So some big news there out of Arizona. What are we thinking here? Ace, why don't you get us rolling this first 4 o'clock matchup here in week 10?
Yeah, we usually get excited when we hear the bird matchup. You'd think it's Ravens and Eagles, but oh no, it's Arizona Cardinals and Atlanta Falcons. I am on the Call of Duty guy. I'm also super high on Kyler Murray in general. I think that offense, like what Josh Jobs is doing, there's weapons on the outside. Rondale Moore, Marquise Brown, eager to see that connection flourish again. Zach Ertz, I know he's hurt right now. Trey McBride looking good. Running back room a little bit scary, but depth on offense, and they find ways to score. I think this Falcons team away from home is going to have a tough time winning, especially with Taylor Heineke at the helm. I don't know what's going on with Bijan Robinson, and their best player on offense looks to be John O. Smith, which is pretty nuts if you ask me. I do like the Cardinals to win this one, -1.5. I mean, they're at home. Kyler Murray's comeback game. I think he might put a lot of haters to rest with a good performance here in this one. I'm excited to watch the Cardinals play this week. I think I might be carding that. Kyler Murray having a big day.
Yeah, I definitely am not going to have a play on this game. Shitty game, and we got Kyler Murray's first game of the season, so I want to see how he plays before I can actually put money on it. I do lean the Falcons, though. I don't think having Kyler Murray is going to be much different than having Josh Dobbs, to be honest, especially in his first game back in over a year. Um, the defense is going to get lit up. I don't care who's playing quarterback for the other team. Taylor Heineke is definitely the better option than Desmond Ridder as well. So I don't have a lean on the over under. If anything, I like the Falcons, but definitely staying away from this game. No way I'm betting on this.
I think Kyler Murray's gonna. You think he's fully healthy? He's got to be, right? Like with all that time off and being hesitant to bring him back, he could have been back a few weeks earlier.
Yeah, I
Be.
mean, I think he's also trying to prove a lot of people wrong. You know how much shit he hears about
No, but I'm just saying, like he's got to be 110%. You have him under that contract with that much money tied
Yeah,
to his
but I don't
name.
think I don't think he's really that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the athletic ability because if that's there, then I think he can have success once again.
Would you rather have him or Josh Dobbs?
Oh,
Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
Yeah, by a lot.
Yeah.
by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
would
that's
too.
crazy. I mean, why? What is
The
Josh?
skill is there. The skill is there.
I don't think Kyler Murray is very good at all.
I'm not a huge Kyler Murray supporter to begin with, but if you're going to compare him to Josh Dobbs, yeah, give me Kyler
Why
Murray.
is comparing him to Josh Dobbs bad? What has Josh Dobbs done that's bad?
No, Josh Dobbs look good, but Kyler Murray just has next level skill.
It's athletic potential. It's just like
his ceiling is so high.
I don't think he's a very good quarterback, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like the Cardinals in this game. I think the one thing that's gonna hurt the Falcons in this game is they don't have the ability to really game plan for what they're gonna do, how Kyler's gonna come out in this game. I mean, we obviously don't know. I'm kind of erring on the side that he's gonna look good. Probably won't bet it. Give me the Cardinals. They'll win the game. I like the money line on the underdog, a home underdog. Probably my home underdog of the week. Give me the Cardinals on the money line.
You know what might not be a bad pick to look is to look at a Hollywood Brown reception prop. You know that connection goes crazy. I think they're going to be airing it out.
I was going to say Ertz.
Ertz is out though, isn't he? It's McBride. McBride's been doing very well.
That's the guy I was thinking. Yeah, McBride. I couldn't think of the fucking.
Yeah, I think it's a big day through the air. They don't have much of a run game. Kyler Murray will be the true runner, and then you have Rondale Moore and Marquise Brown who are dynamic. The Brown connection from college. We saw it was early last year before Murray got hurt. McBride coming into his own. I think there's points in this one. What was the over under at sitting for this one?
43.5.
I do think it goes over, which is crazy to say. I agree with you, Mackie Heineke, better option than Ridder, which actually scares me more for that Cardinals play if I do end up carding it, because I think he can keep up if Murray puts points on the board. But we'll see. I think this is going to be a pretty exciting game.
Falcons could have a 6-point lead in this game and blow it.
Yeah, for sure. Arthur Smith, dude.
Second worst head coach.
Does he get fired if he loses to Kyler Murray?
No.
I saw something saying he's on the hot seat the most out of any coach in the league. Well, besides Eberflus. Eberflus is on there.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
For fucking 3 years about this idiot. Let's get into this next game. This is actually a good matchup.
Yeah, this next one here, another 4 o'clock matchup. Lions and Chargers in LA. Lions the favorite here. 3 points for them. -156 on the money line. 48.5 as the total. Trends I got here. Lions 11-2 against the spread in their last 13 Sunday games. 15-3 against the spread in their past 18 games overall. Chargers have played 6 straight unders. Lions have covered 7 straight November games. And Chargers are 1-9 straight up in their last 10 games played in Week 10. Mackie, get us rolling here in this 4 o'clock matchup here in LA. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys know where I'm rolling on this one. I think the Lions definitely find a way to get a W here. Chargers, nice win last week, nice commanding win against the Jets, but the Jets aren't a very good football team, especially with Zach Wilson throwing the football for them. Chargers don't really get wins against these good teams, and the Lions, I think on paper, top to bottom, the Lions are the better team in this matchup. And when it comes down to it, Jared Goff is going to win a football game before Justin Herbert does. We've seen it week in and week out this year. I think the Lions can go. Chargers don't really have the fan base to make like a at home atmosphere, so I don't really think that'll be a problem at all. I think the Lions definitely find a way to win this football game. Keep that momentum going in that. And the NFC North is getting kind of tight now with the Vikings playing good football, so got to keep pace. Move to 7-2 here, and the Chargers. I think they at the end of the day they missed the playoffs, and getting over that hump is big, and this is one of them that they kind of need to get, and I just don't think they get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I think SoFi Stadium is going to be rocking for this one, Mac. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
but I do think these two teams are
Chargers fan in the world.
You were talking about
that Asian lady screaming on that.
Yeah, she'll be there. But no, you were talking about you would think the Lions roster is better than the Chargers. I think these are two of the most similar rosters in the NFL, built almost exactly the same. Maybe the skill leans a little bit more quarterback for the Chargers, and then running back. I mean, I don't even know actually. But I do think the Chargers win this one at home. I love that their dogs.
I don't know.
Actually, yeah, I don't know because Austin Ekeler. The depth, I guess, at receiver now that Palmer and Williams are out leans the other way, and the tight end definitely leans to the Lions as well. But it's not that far off. Defense, I think there's playmakers on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I love a shootout between Goff and Herbert. We saw what Goff did against Mahomes a few years ago. I could see something crazy like that. This could be game of the week, in my opinion. I think it's back and forth, and it's going to come down to a final drive, which could kill me if it's Justin Herbert needing to get the points. I'm hoping it's
it's not happening. If it's
but I'm hoping it's the other way around. It's Goff driving and not getting it. So I am going to take them on the money line here. I think I might card this one. I think this is a great game. Ekeler will definitely find the end zone again. I can't believe I didn't card that the other night. You guys are brutal for not telling me. Hey, where's your
that
Ekeler
off the card, Ace, and I was even thinking, why the fuck didn't I just card this?
Yeah, and I was thinking, why didn't I even?
Not really in the spot to be telling you what plays to make right now.
No, but I'm saying a week after I just hit him on the first TD and the anytime, you're not taking him again. Guy's on fire right now. He's playing like he was early in the year, making up for his fantasy woes. Meanwhile, I think that the Lions keep scoring. They definitely keep scoring, but they're away from home. I expect some regression for that team. I think they're playing over their heads still. We saw how badly they played against the Ravens on the road. I know it's a completely different atmosphere, but yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers here in the Chargers in the over. Chargers on the money line.
I like the Lions here. I like the Lions with the points. I think the Lions keep their kind of season rolling. Like Mackie said, get to 7-2. The Vikings are playing really good football. I think the Lions are looking at this as a must win. If they need any kind of motivation going into this one, when you're 6-2, you kind of think you're just rolling into this right off a bye week. This is a pretty big game. It's an AFC NFC matchup, obviously interconference. Doesn't mean much for the standings, but I think this is kind of a must win game for this Lions team. If this Vikings team is able to pick up a win here against the Saints and the Lions lose this week, things are going to get really interesting in the NFC North as the Lions and Vikings haven't even played each other yet. But I like the Lions here. I think they get the win. I think they win the game by 7 or more. I might even I don't know. I'll probably just take the 3 on the card. I was going to say I kind of like the over here, but
line.
No, I was going to say I kind of like the over here too, but I think they do win the game by 7 or more. It would be an interesting number to see what like 6.5 is, but I wouldn't do it. I like the Lions here with the points. Give me the -3.
I think this is going to be game of the week. This will be a fun one to watch. Two good quarterbacks.
Definitely going to be a great game to watch here as we continue through this 4 o'clock slate here. Giants and Cowboys here next. Cowboys 16.5 point favorite here at home, -1600 on the money line, 38.5 is the total. I have here that Daniel Jones will miss the remainder of the season for the 2-7 Giants here with the tearing of his ACL.
Tommy DeVito is throwing the football for the New York Giants.
That's so brutal, dude. Go sign Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, no other trends here from me. What are you thinking, Mackie? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, Cowboys. I don't know. Just don't fucking lose this game. This just looks like the Cardinals game all over again.
Cowboys all -30.
But the Cowboys, they own the NFC East outside of the Eagles. The Eagles own same thing. What is that face for?
They own the AFC East outside of the Eagles.
Yeah, I was going to say like outside of one of the other teams in their division.
So they own 67% of the division.
Yeah,
or 50 if you count.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean
neither of
you guys can come close to saying that, but
okay, but we can also count the rings on our fingers.
What'd you say? What'd you
We
say,
can
Huff?
count the rings on our fingers.
I got 2 rings. 2 rings.
Oh my god, bro! It's been like how long? How long has it been?
How long you been a Cowboys fan?
It hasn't been that long, Huff.
My whole life.
Yeah.
My whole life. But yeah, I mean they should
Continue
cover.
your point. You
They-
walked into that one.
They should cover 16. You guys can't keep talking about the rings. You haven't seen them in at least 5 years.
Oh, I've seen him in 5 years.
No, 5
You've
years.
never
You
seen
said
your
5
team in a
years.
Super Bowl.
Okay, you can't talk about it though. It was 2011. You haven't been there since 2010.
Have you guys even been
No.
there in our life?
Huff, you were fucking. Your balls hasn't even dropped yet when you were fucking 11 years old. You saw that. You saw Ben
so
Roethlisberger.
tight.
See, Antonio
You wanna talk-
Holmes is like 50 years old now.
Did
We
Des
can go like
catch
this.
it?
Do you want to talk about the Penguins back-to-back cups in 16, 17?
We're not
when I was
talking
in-
about hockey.
Okay, because you can't talk that one either.
We're not, but we're talking about football. We're talking about. We're not talking about hockey. If I was
Might as
talking
well
about
talk
hockey,
baseball.
I wouldn't say anything if we were talking about hockey. I wouldn't say anything if we were talking about hockey.
Well, 2 Super Bowls in my life. I'll take it.
Yeah, you were 10 years old.
6 Super Bowls in my life. That's nuts.
It's better than being
That's
dead.
nuts.
You weren't even alive.
Yo, Ace, you're fucking from Rhode Island.
Mackie,
Providence
you like the
Bruins.
Cowboys and you're from New
The
York.
Providence Bruins don't have any championships.
They do though. They're disgusting. I go to the game.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Cowboys minus 16. They're gonna fucking rape this game.
I think they do too. So many points though. It's like a college spread. It's like I think you just bet it and don't even think about it, right?
Yeah, this game will not be on my TV.
I'll be
I think
watching it 'cause I'm a Cowboys fan.
No,
but-
but that's what I'm saying. It's like if you want a good play that should hit, just take that and not even think about it. It's like taking Ohio State in a bad matchup.
Then you turn the TV on and Dak has 2 interceptions. We lost the game 17-16.
All right. And that's why I don't want to be a Cowboys fan. I don't think. But
Mac Jones. All I gotta say, Mac Jones and Kenny Pickett. Fuck both of you.
Mac Jones
Ben
tied with
Roethlisberger,
Dak
Tom
Prescott
Brady.
for Super Bowls. So that's all that matters. But no, I do think they cover this week. Great week if you have the Dallas defense. I think I have them in one of my leagues, and they projected crazy amount of points. I don't know what the hell is going on with the New York Giants. They paid Daniel Jones. Now he's sitting out. You have some guy that should be on.
He's sitting on it towards ACL.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
hurt.
I would sit out too if I was the quarterback of that team, getting hit every play. But you have the guy that should be on like the mobsters playing quarterback for you, DeVito. I don't even know. That guy's made up. They found him with what's his name?
does
Mackie.
sound like a-
Mackie.
it
Who's
does
the
sound like a
Mackie? Who's the
creative
guy
player.
that? Who's the guy that? Danucci. Danucci's probably friends with DeVito, and that's how he got the job in New York.
He was a cowboy. What?
That's what I'm saying. These guys with Italian last names just showing up in the NFC East for no reason. It's like, where did he play college? Oh, he didn't even play college. He's friends
He
with
played
Mike
at
McCarthy.
Illinois.
Yeah. Like
Oh, he's from Brooklyn.
Big Ten football.
Yeah. All right. Next game. Cowboys minus 16.5. Mackie, if you card it, I might card it with you though.
I can't do it.
I
won't
don't
even
think I'll
watch this
card
game.
either. I haven't been carding the Cowboys at all. I was gonna do it last week. But
How are the
couldn't.
Giants going to put points on the board? Really?
Yeah. And how are they gonna stop the Cowboys' offense? That's a good question.
That's what they want you to think.
It's
Yeah,
in
you
Dallas
know what,
too.
Huff?
Mackie, it's in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
dude. Come on.
It's Jerry's world. We saw how they played. We saw how they tore apart Mac Jones and that
Yeah.
Patriots team.
Didn't they do
in
it to
Jerry's
someone
world.
else like 2 weeks ago again?
Yeah, they did it to fuck. Come on, man.
As long as
They
it's not
beat,
the
like,
Cardinals in Arizona, I
It was
think
like,
you guys
it was
are
like
fine.
2 weeks after that Patriots game. Who'd they tear apart?
It was like
Rams.
38-3.
Yeah,
The Rams. It's 38-20
Yeah,
actually.
as long as it's not the Cardinals in Arizona, you guys are fine. I think the Cowboys cover the points. I might card it. I don't know if I'm the only one. I wouldn't be surprised, but I do think they roll.
You know, what, I'm gonna get a Rangers ring this year, and I'm gonna get a Cowboys ring this year, and then you guys are gonna be clowns. I'm telling you.
I think you got to shave your head like Panner and then maybe.
He's playing some good fucking hockey. Give him his flowers. God damn. 12 game
I'll
points.
take the field against
All
both
right,
of those teams.
Off 12 games in, give him his flowers.
Cool. Huff, you'll take the field at minus 12,000 against both those teams.
Yeah. And it'll hit.
No, it
All
won't.
right, let's get into the next one. This is a blowout game.
Another 4 o'clock matchup here to get us, or final 4 o'clock matchup here to get us out of this. Washington Commanders, Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Seahawks are the favorite here, -6. Their money line minus 275. Total at 45.5. No trends from here coming out of this one. Ace, what do you think here out of this last 4 o'clock matchup?
I want to ask you guys, do you think this one's going to be a great game? I think these two offenses are high flying, light defenses. I think there's a lot of points in this one. Two quarterbacks that are overachieving, and I think rightfully so. I think they are pretty good. So you get to hear what you guys have, then I'll get into my point.
I don't like this game. I want to take the Seahawks with the points. I, for some reason, don't have a good opinion on this game. I think for the same reason, this Washington offense keeps up. There's a lot of money on the Seahawks. Seahawks are good at home. I'm just kind of going both ways on this game. I really want the Seahawks to win this game to keep things tight with the Niners in that division, just for kind of like conversation's sake in that division. Because obviously, I think the Niners could lose one this week in Jacksonville. I think the Seahawks could win this game as a 6-point favorite and take a lead in that division. I just don't like the spread in this one. I do like your point with a lot of points. I just don't know if I'll have a play on this one.
Yeah, good take there. I want to say I do think there's some value on that +6. You're getting a good money line there for the Commanders. Sam Howell playing great football, but how can you not? Look at who he's throwing to: McLaurin, Dotson, Samuel. He has Brian Robinson. Logan Thomas is a great tight end. They have Antonio Gibson behind Robinson. Weapons everywhere. But they sold so much on defense. I think that Kenneth Walker has a good game, finds the end zone. I think Geno Smith gets it going. JSN breakout game incoming. It could be this week. His breakout game is incoming though, but with Metcalf out there as well, I expect a lot of points. Not going to take a side in this one, but yeah, I like the over here.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks get it done as well. I really don't want to see them keep playing this well because they do have a future on the Niners. And the Niners do have a tough game this week. So we could see the Seahawks take a hold of that division solely after this week. But this is a good game for them. It's a good game for Geno Smith to tear apart that Washington defense who just kind of sold their two best players. 6.5, kind of steep. I think they get it done. I think they do cover the 6.5 on their home field. Commanders not really playing for anything anymore, kind of playing for that first overall pick at the end of the day.
12th man's going to have to show up, bro, for them. I think to slow down Sam Howell. He's been flying the last few weeks. He's put up fantasy leader the last few weeks, especially.
Yeah, I have him in one of my leagues actually. You wouldn't think that he would be on your roster, but I think he's ranked number 8 ranked quarterback too. So he's playing really good football. That Seahawks defense is playing good defense too, though. So he's gonna have it in for him. I think he'll get his points, but Seahawks should win this football game.
It'll be a good matchup, I believe.
Good stuff there, boys. Time for some Sunday night football here. Jets and Raiders in Las Vegas. Basically a pick 'em here. Jets -1, -106 on the money line. Raiders -110 on the money line. Total 36.5. Trends I got here. Jets 1-5 against the spread in their last 7 games in Las Vegas. Raiders have played 5 straight home unders, and Jets are road favorites for just the 4th time since the 2019 season. Huff, get us rolling here on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I like this game a lot. I have 2 rules with interim coaches, and I said it last week, and the Raiders absolutely blew out the Giants. I know there was obviously an injury there with Daniel Jones, but that was all Raiders from the beginning. Raiders, when you get an interim coach, you hammer them the week the interim coach starts, and then the next week you absolutely hammer fade them. Give me the Jets. Jets win this game. They looked terrible last week in the prime time. Excuse me. I love the Jets to win this game. Big bounce back game, primetime football in Vegas. This is a huge game for the Jets to stay alive for their playoff hopes. For if they think they're getting Aaron Rodgers back, massive game for the Jets. Jets win this game. Give me the Jets money line.
Yeah, I'm with the Jets. I'm on the Jets as well. Don't ask me why. I'm not betting on this Raiders team. I think they declined a lot from last week. Jets got blown out last week. Played terrible football on offense. Zach Wilson looked like shit. He's gonna bounce back this week. You're gonna see that defense step up. Jets money line.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys see Salah's comment the other, or I think it was today it came out.
That was so embarrassing.
What did he say?
He said he has to
Oh my
look at
God.
Zach. Well, I don't know which one you're talking about. I was just saying he has to look at Zach Wilson starting from a global standpoint. He said he has no idea why he still has Zach Wilson as a starter, essentially.
He said, I plead the fifth. You got me there. They said, why do you still have Zach Wilson starting at quarterback? He said, you got me there. I plead the fifth.
So that means it's upper management then.
So who's their other guy? Like, who's the other option?
They
Did
just
they bring
got
in
Simeon, yeah.
Yeah, I'd leave Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Why?
better guys on the market that
I
kind of
don't
stuff.
know. I just
I
feel
would
like-
I would give Semien a shot. Why wouldn't you? This guy's Wilson's been god awful.
Zach Wilson's a
You're
bottom
in the
three.
playoff hunt. How much worse can it get?
He's a bottom 3 quarterback in the league, no doubt.
It's terrible, and because of that, I'm gonna stick with the Raiders. I think Antonio Pierce leads this Raiders team into a playoff conversation. I think they're gonna be fighting with those Steelers, with those Chargers. Maybe not Chargers. I think they started to fall off a bit, but he's gonna be fighting in that bubble realm for a playoff spot.
No way.
You don't think so? I mean, it
No
could.
way the Raiders.
A win
in this-
here goes a long
in this
way. What's their
stacked
record?
AFC. It would be 5-5.
Dude, that'd be crazy because you also have the Chargers winning this week. So if both of those teams win,
Listen.
aren't the Chargers still ahead of the Raiders?
Yeah.
Listen to the Raiders' next 4 games: Dolphins, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs. So the Raiders,
Yeah,
I mean, they could win
yeah.
this week, and then they could be 5
Yeah,
and
no,
10
I
in
could see
5
that.
weeks.
But I think this is a good matchup for them. Like Hoff said, those stats, like thinking about those interim head coach ride and fade. I mean, it's not a bad theory. I'm not gonna have an official play on. I will have essentially, but I don't think I'll have an official side on this game. But see our card Sunday night. I think this is gonna be a tight bout. But I don't think the Jets have enough on offense to get enough points. There's a lot of good
I also
pieces on the Raiders side.
I also could see myself card both of these running backs to get in the end zone. Brees Hall didn't score last week. Obviously, the Jets didn't score at all. And then Brandon Jacobs or Josh Jacobs, he scores almost every game for the
Brandon
Raiders.
Jacobs,
So
remember him?
I liked him a lot. That's
From
why I said
Mackey's
that
New
name.
York Giants.
Yeah, I love my New York Giants.
Alrighty, moving on to our final game here. Monday Night Football, the Broncos and the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. 7.5 points in favor of the Bills, minus 405 on the money line, 47 even on the total. Trends I got here: Bills 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games against Denver, including 7 straight covers. The Bills have failed to cover 5 straight games. Denver has played 9 straight November unders, and Denver has lost 7 straight Monday Night Football games straight up. Like I said, 7.5 points here for the Bills on Monday Night Football. Huff, why don't you get us rolling in this final game on our NFL slate here for Week 10?
Yep. Broncos with the under. Love it. Love it. Love it. Monday Night Football, taking the under. Love the underdog, taking them too. Might tease them together. I love this game. Love the Broncos here. This is coming off a huge win against the Chiefs. I know a lot of people riding high. Bills lost last week in Cincinnati. Bills don't cover spreads. I know they're at home, 7.5. They could lose this game by 7. I love the hook. Give me 7.5 and the under. Love this game.
Is it in Denver?
No.
Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm on the Bills minus 7, but I do like the under as well. I think the Broncos don't put up really any points. I think the slower game, Monday Night Football. You said earlier, Monday Night Football is 10-1 this season, so I'm gonna keep riding that under. But I do think the Bills on their home field, I think they're a lot different team on their home field. They get it done against a really bad Broncos team.
I agree with Mackie. I see a big Josh Allen game here. I really do. I see Stephon Diggs stepping up, being at home is a get right spot. Dalton Kincaid really jumping into his own. Maybe they'll get Knox back as well. James Cook, I think he's got to start playing better in order to keep his role and keep his touches up. Hopefully that defense just keeps getting healthier as the year progresses, but I'm not high on these Broncos at all. I think that they can't keep pace with the Buffalo Bills. And in a tough place to play in Buffalo, Huff, you and Jesse have been there. That's why I'm surprised you're taking the Broncos with the points here. I just could see a big game by the Bills and Broncos not being able to move the ball much at all.
Yeah, I like this game. I like it a lot.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff there out of Week 10. A couple more points here in the NFL before we get rolling on to some of the other sports. Josh Dobbs was traded to the Minnesota Vikings last week. Did not disappoint in his first appearance with the team. Stepped in for an injured Jaren Hall and leads the Vikings to a 31-28 fourth quarter comeback win. So solid move there by the Vikings. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I think they regressed this week, but I know Ace is still big on them. I had them to win this division. I'm not as confident in them as he is. I think they regressed this week and take an L to the Saints, but hell of a spot for him to step in there. Like Ace said, they were drawing up plays on the sideline. The coaches were telling him the cadence and stuff. It was crazy, but great matchup for them. And last week against the Falcons, I just think this week they have a better defense coming to town.
A lot of our followers saying on the live stream take Vikings money line, so a lot of good hits there. Sticking with the Vikings here, their injury problems throughout the 2023 season thus far. They will now be without their newly acquired running back Cam Akers after he suffered a torn Achilles in the game versus the versus the Falcons. Tough loss there for the Vikings. What are you guys thinking about this one? Anything?
Yeah, they just signed him. I mean, it kind of sucks. He just kind of.
Is Ace frozen? He just sent a picture that his computer restarted.
Oh, then yeah, he is. Alrighty, let's take a look at the current odds for the 2023 NFL awards and see who we like to win some of the main awards halfway through the season. Mainly looking here at the MVP, one of the closer races, starting off with the leader, Patrick Mahomes at a plus 240, Jalen Hurts at plus 320, Lamar Jackson at plus 500, Tua at plus 650, and Joe Burrow at plus 900 to round out that top 5. Josh Allen just creeping in here, but he's plus 1,400. Ace, what are you thinking here jumping into these NHL awards? or NFL
Lamar
awards?
Jackson.
I know what you guys are gonna say. You guys are gonna say Burrow. I'll say Lamar, and literally whoever ends up winning that division should be able to take home this award, right?
I agree.
I don't think Lamar's
I'm-
going to win the MVP with throwing less than a touchdown each week.
I mean, I think if the Ravens go 14-3, that he has a good chance. I mean, they're sitting 7-2 right now. Obviously, it's a tall task, but if he does that, they're winning football games. I think that if they have the best record, he's obviously probably the reason for it. Aside from that defense, obviously, but I mean, 14-3. I mean, that
You got to give
That's
it to him almost.
that's a Ravens team that completely turned around from last year just because of him being healthy. Because that team also isn't that healthy this year.
Correct.
I just think you look at the numbers: 1,950 yards, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 9 games played. And I mean, the guy. I truly think, like Ace said, I like the value on Burrow. I think Mahomes is going to get another one. Just the numbers that he's putting up, they're 7-2 as well. You look at the stats here: Burrow 2,400 yards. Let's see, 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So obviously you get the more interceptions, but I mean, same amount of games played, 500 more yards and 8 more interceptions. So I'm going to stick it with stick it with Mahomes here. I just don't think Lamar Jackson can win an MVP, only throwing 1 touchdown a week.
I'm with you, Huff. I think Mahomes is going to win it as well, and I would go with the value on Joe Burrow, but I would not overlook Lamar Jackson. I'm done
Especially with
doing
the
that.
ground stats, Huff. You got to remember that.
No, I know. I just it's. I mean, I'm just looking at these other guys are going to have crazy quarterback stats, and I just don't think Lamar can keep up with those numbers.
Yeah, that's facts. I'm with both of them. Safe bet, easy answers, Mahomes, but if you're
Also,
looking for some value.
I mean, Jalen Hurts. I mean, they have a tough schedule coming up. If he goes 4-1 these
Yeah.
next 5 games, where you're playing Niners, Chiefs,
And his
Bills,
touchdown count is through the
Cowboys.
I was
roof.
going to say, yeah.
if they can go like 4-1, and if they're sitting 11-2 by the time they get out of this stretch, he's the clear-cut MVP favorite. But I just
Yeah,
don't think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna fall off a little here.
Essentially, whoever you think is going to finish the season with the best record, it's a good choice to take their QB for the MVP.
I think you missed the value on Tua at the beginning of the year. I don't think there's any value taking him at 650.
He doesn't have any credible wins. How the fuck can you give him an MVP?
Yeah. I
And
mean,
he's
they
the
still.
best
I
playmakers in
don't.
the
I don't know
world
their
around them.
schedule, but yeah, I think it's more. You look at the guy who's the favorite for the offensive player of the year. I think that's half the reason he's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Mahomes. Give me Burrow 9-1 for some value, but I truly think Mahomes wins it.
Alrighty, boys. Lots of good stuff as we get out of week 10 here, just about halfway through the NFL season. It's going by very, very quick. But I know we're going to cherish these last 9 weeks, 8-9 weeks here.
We really have to cherish them.
You don't get that many football seasons in your
Dude, I
life.
told you his fucking shit's gonna fly by. I was already crying week 3.
All right, let's move over to the NHL. I got some power rankings to get us rolling here. Coming in at number 5, the Colorado Avalanche. Number 4, the Vancouver Canucks. 3, the New York Rangers. 2, the Boston Bruins. And 1, the Vegas Golden Knights, just holding that spot. What are you guys thinking here coming out of the NHL? We're mid-season at this point, well into it. Mackie, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, you saw 1 and 2 Knights Bruins. I don't think anybody was really surprised about that. But the Canucks and the Rangers, I mean, in the top 5, I don't think anybody saw the Rangers, or definitely not the Canucks, starting this hot. I can speak for the Rangers at least. Both goalies are playing incredible. They had a 5-0 trip out west and in Canada where they swept, which we haven't done in 20 years or something like that, which is awesome. Panarin has started the season 12 straight points, or 12 straight games at the point. Most underrated player this year. He hasn't even really been talked about. Wasn't a top 3 star the first month. Top 3 in points. Rangers have a crazy record, so I think that that he needs to be looked at a little more. But yeah, good start to the season. Canucks playing really good hockey. I like that. Avs finish out our top 5. What do you guys think?
I am not going to lie. I didn't know the Canucks were doing this good. I mean, my Penguins haven't had the greatest start to the season. Obviously, sitting at the bottom of the Metro right now, picking up 2 nice wins these past couple games. I think they just got to keep winning. But I did not know the Vancouver Canucks were 9-2-1 with 19 points.
Dude,
that is fucking pretty crazy.
That's your
Elias
Demko's
Pettersson, leading scorer in the league.
It's Pedersen, it's Besser. I mean, it's all these young guys. I mean, they have such a nice young core. They have Quinn Hughes on the backside. Thatcher Demko is the Vezina favorite at this point. I know it's so early in the season, but he
and
is.
Sway. My boy Sway,
yeah,
dude.
as well. But I mean, you can't be in a committee and win it again. I mean, Omar did it last year, but those numbers
Depends
are
on
just
how good your
ridiculous.
numbers really are, though.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think
he's 7-0, and his goals against is the save percentage in goals against best in the league.
yeah,
Pretty good start.
I think Thatcher Demko has a bit of an edge over him right now. But this Canucks
Playing
team
on
is
a way
good.
worse team, I take it. I think the goalie
Yeah,
obviously is a.
right now I'll take him, but I think there's going to be regression, a lot easier regression for him. He's got a tougher spot than Sway has.
Which says a lot more though about what he's doing right now against Swing.
I also think the Canucks are in an easier division. I mean, they got Vegas and the Kings out there, but like Seattle's not playing good. The Flames aren't playing good. Oilers love to do this at the beginning of the year, pick up a couple losses. They're 2-8, and then the Sharks are the Sharks. They just got their first win. I mean, I didn't really look at these standings too much until right now. I just haven't been keeping up with hockey a ton, but that's pretty crazy. I mean, I definitely think the Canucks are in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, they definitely started high.
Especially
They
if
have the
Demko's
talent
the
to be
favorite.
that good. They've always
Yeah.
had it, but we got to see continued success because we know early on. Some of those other teams, we love betting on those Knights and Bruins and Avs a lot. You see them on a card. The Red Wings are playing some good hockey too. I like their value. I know they lost to the Rangers last night, but Mackey's Rangers are rolling. Devils are playing solid hockey per usual. Lightning and Leafs right there as always. The Panthers got to pick it up a
Kings.
little bit.
Kings are 8-2-2. Kings are playing crazy hockey too.
But in Byfield breakout year this year, I'm going to call it right now. I might be like a week late to that party, but their move of him putting him at wing as they have great center depth in Los Angeles, I think he's going to turn to that top pick that they really projected him to be. But it's a great hockey season so far. We're going to pick up the card. Would love a nice Knights win right here, but we'll keep you guys updated as we get some more news rolling through. Definitely tune in. I loved what they did on that Frozen red zone thing they had the other day, so hopefully we get that again soon. But my long shot picks of the Bees and the Stars for the Cup, not looking terrible. Stars, great team.
Alrighty, keep it moving here. The college basketball world. The 2023 college basketball season is officially underway. Saw 184 games on opening night. And just like we all know about college basketball, there were several upsets throughout the first couple days of the season. First big upset took place when JMU took down number 4 Michigan State in overtime. Michigan State was a 16.5-point favorite coming into this matchup. Huge stuff coming out of the college basketball world. It's very good night for you guys. Very good night overall. You guys got any thoughts as we are just here in the first few days of the college basketball season?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of unknown, but we've been doing our research at least leading up to this season. I have a lot of faith in Mia Mackey to bring home another 15-unit college basketball card. Starting off with a two nice wins last night with Iowa and Michigan. You saw, right where college basketball, you said it, where they got left off. Or with March Madness, we see all the upsets. And then night one, we have JMU take down number 4 Michigan State. Michigan State's going to be an elite team this year. Obviously, this isn't college football. Look for them to bounce back, and they'll still be up there in the top 10 throughout the year. But a bunch of good matchups the rest of this week. I don't know if you want to get into a couple of these. I don't necessarily there's probably not lines on all of them. Most of them are out this weekend, but definitely a couple good matchups to keep your eye on this week in the college basketball world.
Yeah, not much to say about those matchups coming up just yet, but yeah, we've been cautious about the card this year. No plays the first night. We had 2 plays last night, went 2-0. We're seeing the board really well to start the season. I think you sent plays the first day. You didn't actually send your actual plays.
I just sent them to you. I didn't actually card
I think you went 3-1 or 4-1, and I'm 6-1 to start the season as well.
Yeah.
So even off card, where our reads are doing really well. We're seeing the board really well. This college,
the one loss I had was that Georgia play, and you were on Oregon.
And then one loss I have is Kansas State, and you were on USC.
I was on USC.
So we're seeing the board really well. This is definitely our best sport. Me and Huff kind of took care of it last year, up 15 units. We're looking to definitely do better than that this year. I think we definitely can. We got off to a pretty rough start last year, and we're getting off to a good one so far this year. So, lot to look forward to in the college basketball season. Other than that, not much to talk about right now. It's too early, but going to be a long, good season.
Love to hear it, boys. Here, a couple of matchups, though, I think we want to look at this week. Number 15, Texas A&M versus Ohio State here. What day is that one on, Huff? Do you know?
I think these are all Friday matchups.
All Friday matchups here. Number 9, Tennessee versus Wisconsin. And Yale versus number 11, Gonzaga.
Yeah, I think these are 3 pretty good matchups. Obviously, last year, Mackie, we loved to fade Ohio State, so I'm interested to see how they come out this year.
Fade
pretty
them in
good
the Big.
A&M team.
You
What'd
fade
you
them in
say?
the Big Ten though. You don't really fade them in
Yeah, I was gonna say
before
we
you get
wait
to
until
conference
yeah
play, but
we were fading them left and right towards the end of the season last year and leading up to the tournament. Obviously, like you said, a lot of these games, interconference games, the Tennessee Wisconsin one. I'm excited for that one. I'm big on this Tennessee team, but Wisconsin obviously always a tough place to play and a tough team to play. I don't know if that game is in Wisconsin. I didn't do too much research on these games yet, but and then Yale. I know we've had Ryan Hammer on this podcast to talk about college basketball and the NBA. He's big on this Yale team coming into this year, and he thinks that's going to be a pretty big matchup against number 11 Gonzaga. So lots on the college basketball slate this weekend, a full slate on Saturday, so I'm definitely excited for it. We're going to
yeah,
get Ryan back on here now the college basketball is back rolling.
yeah, it'll be nice to get a nice full week of college basketball under our belts, get a little more of a feel for things, and we'll be firing off those plays.
College
Love it.
sports are definitely on top right now, but college basketball back. There's a lot. I mean, college football. I mean, it's the most. At least I think the unpredictable and wide open the college football playoff has been in a while. So let's get into some college football.
Yeah, college football up here next. Alabama continues to win games late in the season after a dominating win against SEC rival LSU this past weekend. Alabama remains at number 8 in the AP poll. Do you see this Alabama team sneaking their way into the college football playoff? Leading in here to my next question, Mackie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I actually really do. I've been saying this for probably about 4 or 5 weeks now. That this Alabama team.
This was the game that we were saying they had to win.
Yeah, definitely, and they did. They went out there and they took care of business. Jalen Milroe is playing some really good football right now. The only reason that they lost that first game is because they weren't gelled yet. There's a QB conversation going with Tyler Buchner and Jalen Milroe. He completely took over that starting spot. This team's playing really good football. They're moving the ball downfield. The defense is top 5 defense in college football. I think that this Alabama team is a top 3 team in the country. I think that they should be there. They have one loss early in the season to a very good Texas team, and they're still being a little overlooked. I think they're better than the other one-loss teams that they're behind in Oregon, and I forget who else.
Washington's still up there.
Washington's undefeated though.
Here, I'll pull up the poll real quick.
There's 2 teams I think ahead of them that have one loss. And I think that they're definitely the best one-loss team. No, Penn State's 11.
Penn State's 10. The one loss teams ahead of them are Texas and Oregon.
Oregon and Texas, which Texas, I guess you have to give it to them because of the head-to-head. But I think that they are the best one-loss team. I think they're going to find a way into the playoff as well. I think they're going to face off with Georgia in the SEC championship. They're going to win that game. It's going to bring them into the top 4. And I can honestly see. I don't know. I think that they should. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think Georgia should probably fall out of this top 4. But I don't know if they will because of how much respect that they have. And
I think I agree with what you're saying. I think Alabama beats them in the SEC championship. I think Georgia will be the 3 seed in the college football playoff. Alabama sneaks in at a 4. I have Michigan and FSU both falling out.
So you have Ohio State obviously being number 1.
Yeah, I have Ohio State. I think Washington will slide up. I think we're going to have to get into the next question, Jesse. Who do I have in the college football playoff? I think it's going to be Ohio State, Washington, Georgia, Alabama.
I like it. Mackie, what are you thinking?
Like
4 teams you see making the college football playoff.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm gonna go Ohio State at the 1 seed. I think they're gonna win it. I think they're gonna have an undefeated season. Big Ten championship game is not a championship game. They're gonna play like fucking Wisconsin probably or like Illinois.
It's the way the divisions work. They're gonna get like Iowa or fucking Wisconsin.
They win this game against Michigan and they go undefeated. They get the number 1 spot. Number 2, I'm gonna go Washington. I think they're the only 2 teams that go undefeated. Washington gets that 2 spot. I think they also go undefeated as well. Obviously, big game against Utah this week at home. They get it done. Number 3, I'm gonna go Alabama, and number 4, I'm gonna go Texas. I think Texas wins out and gets in as well.
You know why I did Georgia at 3 and Bama at 4? Because the committee wants a Georgia-Bama national championship. And they'd both win those. I don't know if they'd both win, but they'd love them to both win those matchups and meet in the national championship.
And that's how I want to see it as well. Georgia makes national champion, or if Georgia makes the SEC championship game undefeated.
Neither of us said Florida State. Do you think they lose or just get overlooked and screwed as that 5th team out?
They have to lose a game to be out. I think that they end up losing a game. I really don't think that they're that good, to be honest.
I think their toughest game is the last game of the season in Florida. Florida State versus Florida, in Gainesville, in-state rivalry. I think that's a tough game.
They're gonna have to play Clemson in the ACC championship anyway.
I know, but I'm saying I don't even think they get out of the regular season undefeated.
Yeah, well, if they don't, they definitely don't get there.
Yeah.
Georgia, tough matchup against Ole Miss this week. In Ole Miss, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ole Miss is a 10 seed. Defense has to step up big. You're not going to see a lot of Ole Miss points. That should be a good one. But if Georgia wins that one, it's going to be hard to kick them out of the college football playoff.
Yeah, Ole Miss at Georgia, 9-2.
Should be good. Should be a good one. But,
We have 9-2. I didn't realize that. We have 9-2 this week and 10-3.
Oh,
Michigan at Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that one real quick here. The sign-stealing scandal continues at the University of Michigan. Head coach Jim Harbaugh could be facing a suspension and could hear the news by the end of day Thursday. Like you said, number 3, Michigan plays number 10, Penn State in Happy Valley Saturday. Big noon Saturday kickoff. Any thoughts on this one here?
Yeah, I kind of lean Penn State to cover this number. I think there's a lot going on with Penn State. The spread, I'm seeing Penn State plus the 4.5. I like Penn State with the points. I think they could lose a close game here, but I also could see them win this game. This is a massive rivalry game for Penn State. Jesse, you've been there for this one. This is a personal game for Penn State. They'd love to kick Michigan's ass here. They did it. I think they did it last year. I don't want to stand myself on that because Michigan was in the college football playoff. I don't think they did. I think they gave them a run for their money. I like Penn State with the number here, but obviously I don't want to lock myself in anything before college football Saturday. So I definitely lean Penn State, especially with all this stuff going on with Michigan. They could be without Jim Harbaugh on the sidelines this weekend. So definitely going to be an interesting matchup in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm definitely not on Penn State at all. I think Michigan takes care of business. I don't think Penn State is as good as everyone thought they were. I think Drew Aller, however the fuck you say his name, I think he's not made for the moment. He's not big time. You saw it against Ohio State. You have another really good defense in Michigan, just like Ohio State. So I think he has a really tough game. And Michigan offense just does enough. I just think Penn State's not quite there yet. It's always been Ohio State and Michigan up top, and Penn State just a little below. Penn State has a very good football team this year. They don't have enough to compete with either of those teams, and I think Michigan kind of pulls away late in this game.
Alrighty, boys. That's about everything I have here this week. Week 10 of the NFL season. College football, college basketball, NHL. Lots happening now. That's all I got. Make sure to tune in for our live stream, 10 a.m. Eastern on Sunday. Lots to look forward to as we unravel our top 5 games on Sunday, our best bets on those, and everything around NFL Sunday. That's all I got here, boys. Anything else to add before we get out of here?
No, I think it's going to do it for us. Like we said, college basketball, college football, the cards are officially rolling now, NFL Sunday. So make sure you're staying tuned to the social medias. Hit that notification so you know when we're launching our plays on Sundays and on weeknights so you're not missing a play. Other than that, make sure you're following, like, share, subscribe. I say it every week. It really goes a long way for us, so we appreciate it. Other than that, we'll see you guys Sunday for the NFL Hit the Books live stream. Like the slate this week, I'm excited for it. A great weekend of sports, so we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Yes, sir.